So a while back, I made this little artistic rendition of Tidal Wave as like a humanoid demon thing, and it was pretty well received on YouTube. Though I think at least part of the reason people liked the drawing was just because they thought Tidal Wave was hot. But that's okay. I like drawing hot women, and because I like drawing hot women, I decided to redraw this piece. Just taking my hand at reimagining it. I do think my new version is better, though I don't think it's that much better because I feel like my style hasn't changed that much. But I do I do enjoy just redrawing my old art anyway. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start the speed paint. So here's the thing. In this drawing, this little tidal wave lady is not really covering her chest. Basically, the idea was instead of giving her clothes, I wanted to give her like markings that gave the illusion of clothes. And so, as a result, she's not wearing a top, and I'm probably going to have to censor that so that YouTube isn't weird. But I wanted her to still be pretty, like in the previous drawing, but I also wanted her to look at least somewhat monstrous. So I've maintained her like kind of big claw-like hands, but I still gave her the body type of a pretty lady, you know? I kind of went with a similar approach to the previous drawing in terms of like her design, having the markings be inspired by block designs I saw in the level. I saw the use of the gradients in some of the block design I really appreciated in the original level, and I tried to kind of incorporate that into the markings on her chest area. Also, something you'll notice about both the old drawing and this current version is that I mostly based the design off of the first section of Tidal Wave rather than like the later section of it. Like I based it on like the dark blues and just the general color palette of that section. The reason I did that was just because I think it looks better. Like, I'd honestly prefer if the majority of Tidal Wave looks like that instead of looking like what it does later in the level. And that's not to say that the decoration later on in Tidal Wave looks bad. I think it looks good. It's just I prefer the general like palette and vibe it went for in the earlier sections of the level. Also, shading gradients is really annoying. Every time I shade gradients, I go with a different approach, and usually, no matter what I do, it doesn't look good. I do think what I did here looks good, though I wouldn't necessarily say I knew what I was doing. I was just kind of winging it, and it just ended up looking okay. But yeah, I do like the posing and just the general vibe my newer drawing gives off better than the old version. Though I could see why somebody would prefer the old version. Though I do think there are certain people who would prefer the old version just because the old version was simply more attractive. Because you can see in my redraw, I gave her more weight. There isn't a particular reason, I just wanted to draw a bigger girl. But I think both the old drawing and the new drawing are beautiful ladies, and anybody who doesn't see that is... No, I'm not gonna say that. People have their types. Speaking of which, I remember one person commented, and I quote, "Now draw her skinny," under my original post of the Tidal Wave drawing. Just such a strange comment considering I don't even think she's, like, I don't think the old version of this drawing, I don't think she would be considered fat. Like, she's not exactly like stick thin, but like she's not fat. But yeah, I obviously replied to that comment with no with a heart emoji because like what the heck. I hope that commenter is satisfied that in this redraw she's even bigger. Like I think that's very awesome sauce. So yeah, shout out to that commenter. Also, you can really tell that I have no idea how to render water. I mean, I have no idea how to render in general, but water in particular just is always frustrating for me. It never looks like water. But I do like what I did this with this drawing. Ultimately, I am satisfied with it, even if it's not perfect. I feel like no drawing has to be perfect, especially because people usually won't notice the flaws anyway. Like I'll complain about how bad a drawing is, and then the person I'm showing it to is like, "This is perfectly fine. I don't see what the problem is." I feel like that's why self-deprecation as an artist is kind of pointless, because most people aren't going to notice the flaws until you point them out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this drawing. I think it turned out really pretty. If you're interested in more videos from me, check out my channel. Maybe subscribe if you like my stuff. Bye bye.